But we do have the numbers. They're just out. Nicole, give it to us.
All right, let's take a look here. So 207 on the earnings per share, another beat. They beat 8 quarters in a row, topped earnings per share, did it again. Revenue, 84, 87. So let's take a look at that. Revenue, 52.6. And so that's also beat. The stock is up 2.3%. So Apple a beat on the top and bottom lines. They're also talking about the demand for the iPhone. CFO saying doesn't know when the iPhone 10 supply and demand will actually meet. They're happy with the ramp of the iPhone 10 production and that it continues to grow every week. But big picture here, we are seeing it to the upside. Right now, we're going to delve into the numbers and what they're saying about the 10. But it's all about the forward guidance, too, and we're going to get that as well.
Not bad. Melissa, go ahead.
All right, Kevin, give me your reaction. What do you think? That's a beat.
That's great, especially on the top line revenue. That's what we were most important number that we focused on. And so this is really good for them. But we're going to have to see the read through on the iPad sales as well as the iWatch. Hey, guess what? Now it's gone cellular. So let's see how that the sales have gone.
Shana.
Yeah, I mean, I echo what Kevin said. And looking at this, their other category, which is a huge, amount of revenue for them in this other category, billions and billions of dollars. See how the iPhone or iWatch has impacted, or Apple Watch has impacted that. And then yes, iPad came out. The Pro, is it really 14%. Actually replacing Max
iPad
or not?
Up 14%. Lance, I see you drilling down on the numbers on your iPhone, which seems very appropriate. What do you think? The iPad sales up 14%. Everything else you're looking at there on that tiny screen.
That's good. They have the iPad Pro, the 9.7-inch device, or 10.5-inch device, I should say, which is probably well received. As usually, they don't have a breakout for Apple Watch. They never do, and so we're not really going to know what's happening there. I mean, they've sold, 41 million units on the iPhone, and some of that's got to be the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, but that's not fully realized, I think, until the next quarter. So, it's kind of an in-between time. We're entering a really big moment for Apple with the iPhone 10.
Yeah. All right, Nicole, you got some more details for us?
Yeah, Melissa, we got to take a look at the forecast going forward for the first quarter. That includes the holidays. And this is some good news. The holiday quarter sales forecast is largely above the estimates. The company forecasts first quarter revenue of $84 billion to $87 billion, and the expectations were for $84.18. So that is above. They're also talking about the demand that they've been seeing. It has been early demand for the iPhone 10 has been very, very strong. That is their quote. So again, a beat on the top and bottom line, stocks up 3.3%.
Lance, what do you think when you hear it's been very, very strong? I mean, we know it's sold out. They're not. How much is each very worth in your mind?
This feels like a decade ago when Apple first introduced the iPhone. The level of excitement around this device is that high. It was not the same for the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, and I think that's because they're very similar. This is not a similar device. This is the future of the iPhone, and when you're an iPhone customer, you always want the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. David.
By the way, Mac revenue is up 25%, so it's not only iPhones that are doing well. Let's talk about taxes, Shana, because Apple is one of those companies that have a huge amount of money overseas, $246 billion overseas. We got the tax plans today, 2 levels of taxation if you want to bring that money back, 12% if you want to bring the cash or cash equivalent back, 5% if it's something less liquid like real estate, for example. Will that lure Apple's capital back into the country?
Well, listen, I think that the GOP plan is certainly hoping that it will. There's other good news with the tax plan and, cutting corporate tax rates to be down from 35% to 20%. And so, the tax plan itself has some opportunity for Apple to take advantage of bringing that cash back from overseas and also just lowering their tax rate.
Lance, what would Apple do with that cash if they had it here? Would they go on a buying spree or what?
Yeah, don't forget, Apple's always buying little companies. They just don't talk about it until later on.
What about a big company like Disney? I mean, if you have $200 billion, you've got money to spend.
We have certainly talked about that before. I mean, it's got to be strategic. Apple is interested in getting into content. They've said tiptoed into it. They do have a relationship with Disney. They've had one for a long time. But I don't think that they're going to make that kind of buy. They're going to keep looking for technologies that they can integrate. In fact, one technology they bought a few years ago now shows up in the iPhone 10.